Now what's up, everybody? It is horror headlines for the week of September 17th, 2024. We are now live across all platforms. I'm Calamity John Marr. That is the Hitman Hunter Shambles from the Nerd Entertainment Network, and welcome to Primetime. I ask you again, how you doing this evening?
I am doing fantastic now that we're actually live on the Welcome to Primetime channel, as well as everywhere else you can catch us. We have a big 8 news topics today, including 2 new movie posters and 2 new trailers coming out of Silver Scream Con that happened this past weekend. A lot of news topics happening there, so I'm super excited to it. John, how are you?
I'm doing good. Had a good week. Watched a lot of good movies. Saw the American remake of Speak No Evil. A few things here, a few things there. Stuff we covered for Versus. Stuff we're going to cover on Why We Love Horror. So it's always a good week. But let's get right into it. What's the first headline we're talking about this evening?
All right. So this comes from BloodyDisgusting.com, and it is talking about a news that came out of Silver Scream Con 3, which you guys don't know what that is. It is hosted by Ice Nine Kills. They're a like a metal rock band that their last 2 albums have been metal songs based around horror films. So they have like this whole mythology around it. But it says that Terrifier 3 music video from Ice Nine Kills slashing into Fantastic Fest and AMC theaters. Officially announced at Silver Screen Con 3 over the weekend, the band Ice Nine Kills is joining forces with Terrifier 3 for the film's official song and music video. It is fittingly titled A Work of Art, and we are thrilled to announce that the video will be premiering at the upcoming Fantastic Fest as part of the world premiere screening of Damian Leone's Terrifier 3. Spencer Charnas, frontman and creative force behind the cinematic horror metal band Ice Nine Kills, announced the music collaboration at Silver Screen this past weekend. There's official video on their page as well. So, John, thoughts on Ice Nine Kills working on an official music video with Terrifier 3?
I mean, I know you're a huge Ice Nine Kills fan, and I don't mind Ice Nine Kills, and I think Ice Nine Kills, when you add them to anything, it can't hurt. I think a lot of people still don't know really who they are. I think a lot of people are indifferent to them. I don't think anybody dislikes them. So that's what I would say. I would say that there's nothing wrong with adding them on. Obviously, they're very passionate about the genre. They're very passionate about the horror films they're passionate about. And if they have latched onto Terrifier 3, they're going to create art around Terrifier 3, pun intended. So, yeah, I mean, I'd rather hear your opinion on it. I know you're a huge Ice Nine Kills fan. So, how do you feel about it?
So I'm super excited for this. It's been going around kind of my community that I talked to with Ice Nine Kills fans, and there were big talks about him, the band, doing whether it's a Silver Scream 3 to finish off the trilogy with a Terrifier song in there, but this works just as well, doing these one-off kind of horror cinematics. Their last one they did based on their new album was Meet and Greet, which was a Silence of the Lambs that came out after the album had premiered a few months after. So this was like a one-off one as well. So I like that they're genuine, they're working with more horror franchises. There was a lot of tease of Ice Nine Kills, including music and a poster in Scream 6 as well. So they're slowly starting to show up in a lot of different horror franchises, and that's because they actually love the genre. I got to know them from the Dead Meat podcast. They had Spencer on as a guest, and then I slowly started getting into the music. I like the idea of taking, horror movies and novels and giving it a more of a musical experience. It's not just screaming. They have so many different types of genres that really mesh well with their horror theme. And I know some people can say it's cheesy or whatever, but I like when you can have albums that have themes behind them and they keep the exact same themes going forward.
All right. I mean, that is a great opinion on the whole thing, and I look forward to seeing what they create for Terrifier 3. What's our next topic?
By the way, have you seen the actual video that they posted? They actually had so they had this press conference for at the end of Silver Scream Con, and they had David Howard Thornton come out just dressed as himself, but he had Art's horn, and he like interrupted the proceedings to like crash the meet and greet. It was pretty funny.
That's pretty good. I mean, good cross promotion there. You can't blame Damian Leone and crew for doing whatever they can to promote this movie. I mean, people are going to go see it regardless. So,
100%. All right, let's go on to our second story, which again comes from BloodyDisgusting.com. Sean S. Cunningham shares his thoughts on the future of Friday the 13th and the Crystal Lake series. Again, at Silver Scream Con in Worcester, Massachusetts this past weekend, Friday the 13th creator Sean S. Cunningham provided an update on the long-gestured TV series Crystal Lake, including a potential release date. He says, last I heard, they're talking about shooting it in Australia at the end of the year and releasing on Halloween 2025. But I've heard versions of that story for so long, I don't put any credibility into it. There's just so many things that can go sideways. He broke down the trials and tribulations the series has faced thus far. Some time ago, the rights expired on the original script. So then there became a doubt about who owns what after 35 years. That was being worked out by lawyers, and we're trying to figure out what we can do going forward. We're trying to do a TV show, which we actually got pretty far down the road on. I was very happy with that. I thought it was going to be a lot of fun, and then the rights thing blew up, and the TV series got postponed, and the pandemic arrived. Finally, A24 decided that they would hook up with Peacock and do a Friday the 13th TV series. They were going to hire Brian Fuller, a very good writer in the world of television. The showrunner, the main writer, is the star. That's the person you have to have complete faith in, because it's not the ability to write one story. It's the ability to tell new stories every week. That's a very, very hard thing to do. Brian got the job and it was greenlit. Going forward, they started to set up the writer's room, but they felt like it was going to be too dark, they being A24 and Universal, I'm assuming. So they abandoned it and hired another writer, Brad Caleb Kane. So, thoughts on Sean S. Cunningham giving his thoughts on the Friday the 13th franchise?
I'm glad that Sean pulled back the curtain and let us know exactly what's going on. I mean, I'm not going to lose faith in this thing coming to it. If A24 is interested, it will happen. I am shocked that they would cut a writer for making a Friday the 13th movie sponsored by A24 and Paramount for being too dark. I mean, who cares? It's 2024. I don't think people want a campy 80s slasher at this point. I think they do want, we don't necessarily need to go full Rob Zombie with Jason, but like a darker take on it is fine. I don't object to that. So it's a weird reason to cut a writer, I would say, especially when you're making a horror, like a horror television show. There's plenty of dark horror television shows. So I don't get the damage there. What do you think, Hunter?
I don't know what to think about this. He goes into more detail about what was an original idea for the show, which was like an actual scene that they had in mind, like scripted down, which was going to be that like Jason kills like an 8 and 9-year-old hockey team on the like they're playing ice hockey. And he shows up and kills them. Yeah, on the lake, and he shows up and kills them. That was one of the like the first opening kills for one of the scenes early on. So I don't really know what to think about this, because
that might be too dark if you're leading off with that, because like let's think realistically, right? Mm-hmm. Crystal Lake. If we're going to make a series around Crystal Lake, we have to obviously deal with the issue that when people start dying and disappearing on Crystal Lake, like it's going to be like, stay away from the effing lake, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they would have an entire youth hockey team practicing on the lake at any point in time, just begging to get killed, seems odd. But whatever, I'd rather them not go in that direction. I'd rather them just be dark, not killing children dark, but just be dark. You can do it without killing children.
Yeah. So the rights issue with this series is been completely up and down. You have some people who are saying that they own the rights to a TV series and a video game, but they don't have the movie rights. The movie rights is held up by somebody else. So they can make video games and they can make TV shows, but they cannot make a movie because the person on this side owns the rights. They don't want to make a movie. So it's just, what else are we going to do? Like, we've been in this limbo for over a decade now where it's just like, we are not going to get a new movie until the person who owns the rights decides to either give them up or make a movie. And two, I don't care about Jason in a video game. I just want to see him on a TV screen or a movie theater screen at this point.
I agree. And well, the good news is, we're getting good fan films every once in a while. So we have that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm interested in having in original properties, like original Friday the 13th properties. So come on, guys, let's get with the program. Like, you're leaving money on the table here. People are ready for it. It's been 15 years since the last Friday the 13th movie. It's time.
Yeah. That was 2009, right?
Yeah.
You got some viewers watching.
Yeah, I see some people watching over on YouTube, some people are watching over on TikTok. Thanks for joining. This is Horror Headlines for the week of September 17th, 2024. We were just talking about Ice Nine Kills. Then we were talking about Friday the 13th. Hunter, what's next?
All right, so we have a official poster that came out on Friday the 13th for Terrifier 3. So let's go ahead and pull up that poster. We can see it real quick. Let's pull it up right here. Bam! Look at that. That poster is amazing in all its gory fashion. Christmas comes early in Damian Leone's slasher sequel, Terrifier 3 from Bloody Disgusting and Cineverse. And this Friday the 13th, Arthur Clown carves up a gnarly new poster to get you ready for his return to theaters this month. And then, the poster right here, courtesy of Sam Hain. In Terrifier 3, directed once again by Damian Leone, it sees Arthur Clown set to unleash another round of chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. So, John, thoughts on the new poster for Terrifier 3?
I'm going to say this. Like, I've already seen the trailers. I've already seen all the artwork for it. This poster is cool, but we already know all this stuff. This is stuff we've seen already, just kind of thrown together on a poster. So I'm not like underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm very happy, though. I will say I'm extremely happy that this movie it's a Christmas movie, but it's coming out in the second week of October. So I don't know if that's like just to avoid competition or if they plan on it being in theaters for that long. If it's because they plan on keeping it in theaters through Christmas, like, let's go. Make that money. Go make that money.
Exactly.
We're not that far. We're less than a month away from it. So, like, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. And I know no matter I'm probably going to try to catch it. Like, if they do like an early release, like if they do like a Wednesday showing, I'm going to try to get into that showing because I guarantee that crowd is going to be like white hot. So, like, I got to get there if they're having it.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to try to see this one early. I do like that this poster kind of confirms what we kind of suspected, and it's that, like, Arthur Clown is going to kill either Santa Claus himself, because these movies do have a lot of supernatural elements to it, so that could just be Santa Claus, or it's a guy dressed up as Santa Claus, like a mall Santa.
Either way, I'm okay with it. It's terrible.
It's the same.
Do whatever you want.
But is he wearing his face like a bib too, or am I?
Yeah, he's wearing. That's the face is like a bib. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Around his neck. Yeah,
I love the fact that, like, in 4 movies that Arthur Clown has appeared in, he's slowly becoming a new horror icon, and that's something that we need more in horror. Is give us brand new, not only horror movies but horror icons that we can attach to. I don't want to see the same Michael Myers and Jason just constantly. Give us someone like an Arthur Clown that we can, like, make into these big type of franchises that can be iconic.
I agree, and I think Arthur Clown is that guy.
So this poster is amazing. The marketing for this movie, I think, has been genius. We don't know anything about it. We've had 2 trailers and a lot of different posters, but they're keeping it under wraps really, really good.
I'm starting to see the trailers actually show up before movies now, so like people at least know that much about the movie. It is. I'm not gonna say the trailer is confusing, but it's definitely patchy, and like we really don't have a good idea of like what the overarching story is. We just know like bits and pieces of it. So yeah, I think it's like you're right, marketed very well. But yeah, we could drop that poster down and go on to the next story.
All right, let's move on to the next story. Again, from BuddyDiscussing.com. Speak No Evil remake opens up in the number 2 spot with $11.3 million opening weekend. A remake of the Danish horror movie Blumhouse and Universal released Speak No Evil in theaters over the weekend, and the news is good on both the critical and box office front. Arriving in theaters with an 83% critical score on Rotten Tomatoes, Speak No Evil debuted with 11.3 million in over 3,000 theaters at the domestic box office over the weekend. The worldwide, the film's current total is $20,873,595. The reported production budget for Blumhouse's Speak No Evil is $15 million, so the film should have no problem turning a profit at the box office in the coming weeks. So, John, thoughts on the Speak No Evil remake opening up with 11.3 million worldwide?
I'm very conflicted about Speak No Evil. I did. If you watch Why We Love Horror on Thursday, you'll see like no one dislikes this movie. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's not better than the original. It's not worse than the original, but it's also not the same as the original. So you can watch both movies and not really spoil much for the other. Like the first 2 acts are the same, and the third acts are both different. So I'd say this is a good movie. Okay. I'm very happy that it's doing well. I'm happy that James Watkins is attached to a movie that's doing well. I do not like that it's Blumhouse. I don't want Blumhouse being successful after everything they've done. After everything they've done to us this year, I'm not really happy with Blumhouse being successful. But
we need them to be more successful though, because the more they are, the more good movies they'll put out.
But if this is the direction they're going to go, if it's this Wolfman, and we're going to leave behind Night Swim and Imaginary and Afraid, and we're not going to make movies like that anymore. If we're going to stop making movies like that, that'd be cool. But honestly, like I think Hunter, when you go see Speak No Evil, and I think a lot of American horror fans who at least know foreign horror, there's a part of me watching the American Speak No Evil where I'm like insulted as an American that this is the product they gave us, and the product they gave the European market was something totally different. Like, oh, you fancy, artsy European people can handle this kind of horror, but Americans need this brand of horror. I'm offended.
Is it dumb? Is it dumbed down for the American audiences?
It's not dumbed down. It's sanitized, I'd say. It's definitely sanitized.
Oh, no.
It's still a fine movie. And they go in the opposite. They go in the, I don't want to say the opposite direction. They go in a very different direction than the original. And it makes sense given the way the movie's presented. But the original is presented in a much like bleaker world. It takes place in a bleaker world than the American version does. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about James McAvoy's performance in this movie, and that he can turn on from like being a normal guy to being this kind of darker edge to him really well, which we've seen a lot of that in like Split, where he can go from one personality to the other very cleanly. And you don't see James McAvoy, you see the characters that he's playing in Split. So I'm excited to see what he does in this movie, where he has, again, to balance these two different and opposite personalities.
I would say it's not even different personalities. It's like an absolute psychopath that's just like, or a sociopath that's like kind of like holding on barely. You'll see.
Yes.
You'll see.
Nice. I can't wait to see. I'm seeing that in Beetlejuice this weekend, hopefully. So,
all in all, it's fine. What do we got next?
I will say I am excited that a good movie from Blumhouse is going to make money, and with such a low budget, which is, again, that could be a critique or a positive thing for Blumhouse. I love that they make their movies on such a low budget that it's easy for them to turn a profit. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but it's good because movies don't need to be $300 million every single time we see them.
I'll say this. Speak No Evil doesn't I mean, 15 million is not a micro budget movie, but it doesn't feel like a low budget movie. So you'll be very happy. There's not a low budget feel at all. I'm glad they brought the cost down. I'm glad they're going to turn a huge profit. But this doesn't feel like a low budget movie. So on any respect, effects, cast, settings, cinematography, they made every penny work.
Awesome. I'm super excited to see this. All right, let's move on to our next topic. Again, from Bloody Disgusting, Woman of the Hour teaser trailer. Anna Kendrick's directorial debut comes to Netflix this October. The Anna Kendrick directed thriller Woman of the Hour is headed to Netflix here in the U.S. on October 18th, and the official teaser trailer has arrived this morning. In 1978, a serial killer appeared on a live TV as a bachelor on The Dating Game. Director and star Anna Kendrick tells the tale in Woman of the Hour. So then it goes into what the movie is about. Anna Kendrick takes aim at a true crime serial killer story in her featured directorial debut. So this is a review from Megan Navarro of Bloody Disgusting. A charming 70s set exploration of gender dynamics quickly gives way to an unnerving suspense thriller, stranger than the fiction tale of a serial killer and rapist Rodney Akela and his bizarre appearance as a bachelor on The Dating Game. So, thoughts on the Woman of the Hour teaser trailer?
I did watch the trailer. Obviously, Anna Kendrick, has appeared in plenty of movies. She's given plenty of great performances. I think this is a good film for her. She's directing, she's acting in it. It's definitely like coming on the tail of like movies like Strange Darling, which came out, and plenty of other movies where it's like, man versus woman type dynamics. This is going to fit right in. And the fact that it's a Netflix release horror movie, I think is the right play. I think in theaters, this would kind of get lost in the shuffle. So I'm hoping to see big things. I'm interested in watching it. Anna Kendrick's multi-talented. So, and the guy looks really creepy. Any dude with long hair is creepy. So, yeah, I'm sure you watched the trailer as well. What do you think?
I love this trailer. It gave us just enough to be like, all right, this is the setting of the movie. But there was a moment in the trailer where he asked Anna Kendrick's character to recite the phone number that she gave to him, like, because she wrote it down and she obviously gave him a fake number, which is very smart to do when you don't know somebody. And the fact that she couldn't remember the number kind of gives it away that like she is uncomfortable, and set in this kind of dark and dreary like parking lot, so the lights are out, so the atmosphere looks really, really good. Do you know the story of Rodney Akela?
Now that you mention it, I do remember somebody mentioning it before, but like I haven't like studied this story. I'm not big on my true crime, but I do recall that anecdote, like a serial killer appearing in The Dating Game. Definitely.
Yeah. So pretty much for those who don't know, in the 70s, Rodney Akela was a part of The Dating Game, which was this show where the winner has to go out on the date with whoever she picks out of these three bachelors. He ends up winning. The thing is, the girl that Anna Kendrick's playing, she chose to not go on a date with him because she felt like something was off and she couldn't trust him. So I wonder if this is almost a what if scenario where like, what if she did decide to go on this date and what would have happened? I wonder if they're going that route because they are marketing as based on a true story. It kind of is, but she never goes on the date with him.
Well, yeah, based on a true story gives you all the latitude to do whatever you want. So it's inspired by a true event or based on a true story. It's not the true story, right?
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see this. I love like true crime movies, and this one seems to be diving into that. I also wonder if it's going to go more in the route of like what's that movie called? Sebastian Stan,
like Fresh.
Yeah, like a Fresh, like not that he's like a cannibal, but like more of he's a creepy dude, takes a girl out on a date. Maybe there's some survival elements to it, something like that. I could see that happening as well.
Yeah, there's like a real subgenre of like bad date movies. Like like I said, there's that. There's Strange Darling. There's Cat Person. Like all these like these guys are creepy in movies, and that's fine. That's fine, but we just don't want to oversaturate the market. But it's a fine sub genre of horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
What's
All right, you
next
ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, we are.
All right, I'm very excited for this one. I am going to butcher this name. Damian Bichir, from the Nun.
Oh, Damian Bichir. Yeah.
Bichir. There we go. Joins the cast of The Black Phone 2. Universal and Blumhouse will release The Black Phone 2 in theaters on October 17th, 2025. And Deadline reports tonight that Damian Bichir, that's how you say it?
Bichir.
Why do I keep Bichir? There we go. Has joined the cast. Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill will be writing and producing the upcoming sequel, with Derrickson directing. The first movie was based on a Joe Hill short story. Ethan Hawke will be back as the Grabber, with Mason Thames, How to Train Your Dragon, Madeline McGraw, and Jeremy Davies and Miguel Mora also set to return. In the first film, Finney, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy, is abducted by a serial killer and trapped in a soundproof basement where screaming is of little use. When a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, Finney discovers that he can hear the voices of the killer's previous victims, and they are dead set on making sure that doesn't happen to them, or what happens to them doesn't happen to Finney. The film was produced by Derrickson and presented by Universal and Blumhouse. So, thoughts on Damian Bichir joining the cast of The Black Phone 2?
He's a great actor. I mean, he's great. I mean, he's always a strong actor in pretty much everything he's in. I'm interested to figure out where the story goes.
Same.
I mean, he gets away and they capture the Grabber in the first one, I believe. That's what happens. Or does he kill him? I have to remember. He definitely, the good guys win at the end of the bad, at the end of the Black Phone. So I am interested to see where this goes. I don't know if it's going to go absolute supernatural, or if there's some kind of weird thing where the Grabber's going to come back and get a second run at the people. But the one thing I love about the Black Phone, and that I love about a certain string of movies, is Jeremy Davies playing an abusive alcoholic is just chef's kiss. Jeremy Davies is the shining light of that movie. Not that I'm into watching men beat their children, but Jeremy Davies really sells it. I think he's great in the Black Phone.
I am so glad that Madeline McGraw is coming back. I think her character was really, really great in the original Black Phone. She felt like a real little sister, even to the fact that she felt like a kid. It's just like in the It movies where the kids are going to curse. They're going to have a little bit of an attitude to them. They're growing up. They're going to have this kind of, rebellious spirit. And I love that her character had that, and she was able to express that. She's really good in the movie as well. I am curious where they're going to go with this, because I'm pretty sure the Grabber doesn't die, but I'm pretty sure he gets arrested.
He's definitely caught by a large metropolitan city police department. And the funny thing is, I remember reviewing Black Phone, and I was like, 10-year-old girl and coke addict smarter than the entirety of Denver PD. Is the plot of the Black Phone.
100%. Yeah. But I will say, I love the Black Phone. I believe it was my number 3 of that year, but 2022 was stacked with so many great movies. But again, this is the same thing I'm going to say about I said about Smile 2 coming out. Did this movie really need a sequel? I think it's a really good standalone movie. I don't know where a sequel could go, just like I don't know where Smile 2 is going to go.
I'll tell you what, every time I see that Smile 2 trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this movie now. If I'm watching this movie, I'm excited about Smile 2. But you're right.
They've been pushing that trailer at you, John, constantly.
Right, but the way Smile ended, it left it open for a sequel. The way the Black Phone ended, I don't feel like it did. But
unless the Grabber escapes
never stopped
from prison.
Before. Yeah, the Grabber escapes custody. Sure. I want to see how they do this. I defy them to do this.
But yeah, Black Phone 2. I did not know that this movie was happening until I looked it up for today and saw this news story. So that's very interesting. I hope it's good. I mean, with Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill writing the script again, and with Derrickson directing, I mean, He's made 3 great horror films. So,
yeah, I mean, what do I say every week? I'm gonna see it. So,
of course, you're gonna see it. You see everything.
I'm gonna see it.
All right, you ready to move on to our next topic?
Yes, I am.
John, we have another freaking Steamboat Willie horror film coming out.
They can't stop. They can't stop making them. I think you got a poster for this one, right?
I do indeed. It is called The Mouse Experiment. Slices into the official poster for another Mickey Mouse horror film. John, doesn't that look beautiful?
Stop. Stop doing this. Stop it. Like,
the classic.
This isn't necessary at this point.
The classic short film that introduced Mickey Mouse to the world in 1928's Steamboat Willie has officially entered the public domain, which means filmmakers don't need the permission of Disney to use that original incarnation of Mickey in their horror movies. And a whole bunch of them are taking advantage with a slew of twisted Mickey projects already in the work. The first of these features was The Mousetrap, released just last month, with Screamboat headed our way sometime next year. And then there's Mouseboat Massacre coming soon. Additionally, Bloody Disgusting has exclusively learned that ITN Studios is getting set to unleash the Mouse Experiment, and they provide.
So it's gonna suck. This is gonna suck. This is gonna suck so bad.
It's ITN Studios.
This is gonna be the worst of all of them. You're gonna want to see the Mousetrap. You're gonna say the Mousetrap, the Shining, and then the Mousetrap is what you're gonna say. Like that, ITN needs to stop. ITN is a terrorist organization.
Coming to VOD. Oh my God, it's coming this Halloween season. It's coming out next month.
Coming soon on Versus, The Mouse Experiment. Myself and Will Cullen talking about The Mouse Experiment and how it should never have seen the light of day, and whoever directs this movie should be embarrassed and blackballed from all walks of movie studios across the globe. They should make movies on Mars the rest of their life.
The film follows a group of friends stuck at a fairground amusement park hunted down by a mutated rat. Didn't we see this already?
There's not a lot of latitude with it, with these movies. Jamie has it going. Jamie, who's here every week, is here after Horror Headlines. But yeah, we're talking about The Mouse Experiment, which is like the 15th.
That was literally The Mousetrap. No,
The Mousetrap, they were in a like Dave and Buster's. So this is a little different. Mousetrap, they were in an indoor amusement park, and now they're in an outdoor amusement park. So clearly a different. This is like if Toby Hooper's Funhouse was outdoors. Is basically what we're talking.
All right, so this is being directed by Brendan Pizarro, Petrizzo. Pizarro.
Pronounce Smith.
Why are we doing this again, John?
Jamie, it's not that inside and outside are the only difference. It's just that Steamboat Willie is now in the public domain, so every bad horror studio is jumping on the idea of putting a Mickey Mouse head on a serial killer and going berserk. So the first movie was indoors. Then we're going to get a movie on a boat. We're getting Mickey Takes Manhattan, and now we're going to get this outdoor one. I can't wait. I don't understand. Like, just do your collective stuff and give me like a series of movies with continuity, and that would be cool. It'll never happen. But that would be cool.
I'm just so glad that this is not part of the Pooniverse.
You don't know that.
They have said that this is not part of the Pooniverse.
Great. Fantastic.
Thank God.
I'm very excited that it's not.
This is giving me.
Thank you for the TikTok. Thank you for the heart. Me appreciate it. Sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
This is giving me Pooh, Blood, and Honey 1 vibes. That's clearly a person in a mask that they're trying to tell me is a mutated rat.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, ITN is like the overarching distribution company that handles Jagged Edge and Dark Abyss and those things. So this is not a Jagged Edge picture. So there's no like Winnie the Pooh money going towards this picture. So I'm gonna have to do some forensic accounting and figure out like how good I should expect this movie to be. But when you say just ITN and you leave out Jagged Edge, it's got to be garbage, period. Like, it's just, this is going to be bad. But I'm going to watch it. Take this potion. It's making me sick.
Aren't you so glad that this is like our 5th Steamboat Willie horror movie, and we're getting a horror game?
Can't wait. I mean, put it this way: like I'm as old as I am. I'm in my 40s. Steamboat Willie just entered the public domain. That means we're entering. That means basically it's like Disney resets, and anything that they've done is going to slowly seep into the public domain. We're going to get like 5 Donald Duck killer movies. We're going to get 5 goofy movies. It's going to be like a B movie shit show for the next 2 decades, guaranteed.
And I'll be alive to see it. Damn it!
Hopefully, death will come for me quick. I don't know if we already have you can count the New York Ripper kind of as a Donald Duck slasher movie, but we don't have an actual person dressed as Donald Duck slasher movie. So.
A big ass Donald Duck coming to the theater near you.
Just a dude with a shirt and no pants, Donald Duck head, killing people.
Full dong just hanging out because why not?
Yeah, why not? Just doing the full Donald Duck.
Oh my god, this movie
Tidy
looks
whiteies with tail feathers.
Oh my god, I am not watching this film.
I would watch the Goofy. I would watch the Goofy serial killer movie. Him just killing people, going gorsh, and just stabbing.
Yes,
people.
yes, I would too.
Yeah, the Pluto movies.
It's just a remake of Cujo.
Yeah, it's just CGI Cujo. That's all it is.
Oh no! Oh god, this is gonna be so bad.
Is this our final story?
Yes, but
all right,
we are giving them free ideas. We have to stop doing this.
I want a story by credit. I want a story by credit.
All right, our last story is our final trailer from BladeDisgusting.com. Spin the Bottle, a party game turned supernaturally deadly in a horror movie starring Justin Long. A party game turned into a supernatural nightmare in the upcoming supernatural horror movie Spin the Bottle, featuring Justin Long as a local authority suave to the paranormal. Paramount has debuted a new trailer today. Give us a closer look at the haunted rules. Here is the synopsis. When a group of friends play Spin the Bottle in a house marked by a brutal massacre, they unknowingly unleash an evil spirit and start dying in terrifying ways. Now the survivors must stick together to uncover the house's dark secret and end the bloodshed. This one actually has Ali Larder in it from the Final Destination series. So, John, thoughts on the trailer for Spin the Bottle?
Did watch the trailer. It doesn't feel original at all to me. It's like group of teens goes to haunted house, does stupid shit, gets killed. But Justin Long is there as a sheriff. So I guess that makes it different enough. I just saw Tarot. That just happened, and that was bad. This feels like that. So I don't know. Remains, am I going to not see it? Of course, I'm going to see it. I'm going to see the movie. Whatever. And then I'll tell you it's bad. I feel this is going to be bad. I feel it. They could surprise me. Yeah. I'm usually not wrong. I think this movie is going to be bad.
Yeah, I'm so sick of these card games turning into horror movies. You had Tarot, you had Ouija, you had fucking Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare, yeah.
Which I have a feeling that this movie is going to be the same as Truth or Dare, just with a Spin the Bottle mask on it.
Yeah, it feels like if you go all the way back to like the 80s, and just like you have Night of the Demons and stuff like that. People just like a group of teens go to a house and there's supernatural shit there, that, like spookies, stuff like that. So it's a nice harkening back to like the heyday of the 80s, but there's not an original thought in this movie. So
no,
I'm gonna watch it. You're gonna get my $5.
I don't know if I'm going to watch this. I'm going to wait until the reviews come out and then judge it judge it based on that. If I get,
I'm
if
going in blind. Going in blind, baby.
you're gonna have a hell of a time. I just know it.
Justin Long's in it. Yeah. Can't beat it.
I mean, that's fair. Justin Long and
guarantee his character dies. I guarantee his character dies.
His character either dies or is a massive asshole. There is no in between, or both.
Yeah,
more than likely both. And I mean, Ali Larder's in it too. I love her from Final Destination 1 and 2. So at least you have that going.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't argue with that. But that'll do it for all the headlines we got this evening. I know we still got some people in the live on TikTok. There's probably some people watching elsewhere. We'll throw out, any questions you got for us. We'll entertain them for a few minutes, but then otherwise we'll be winding down for this week, and we'll see you next week. Hunter, while we're waiting, what do you got coming up?
So we are currently doing our 61 days of Halloween special. We are currently working on, we just uploaded one for the 1930s. We're doing 6 movies per decade. We did the 30s. We're doing the Chad and Carrie are doing the 40s by themselves. And then we are shooting the 50s movies together. So those are going to come out in the next few weeks leading up to October 31st, where we're going to do a live stream talking about 1978's Halloween. So makes sense, fitting, talking about Halloween on Halloween. We've got more brackets coming up. We have more reviews. We just uploaded our Beetlejuice, our original Beetlejuice episode is on the channel right now under the Welcome to Primetime show. We have a new episode coming out of Citrus Horror Stash, which is going to be on Jaws, which will come out next weekend. So I can't wait to do that one. And then we are going to talk about both Terrifier 1 and 2, probably around the first week or two of October to get ready for Terrifier 3.
That sounds good. And then over on the Why We Love Horror channel, Mondays versus Tuesdays, you're watching it. Wednesday, special edition. This Wednesday, we got a special edition of Why We Love Horror trivia. Thursday is always Why We Love Horror. We're covering Speak No Evil this week. Friday is Why We Love Horror trivia. I think Hunter's match is dropping on Friday, and then you'll see him.
Let's go.
And then we have a good fun time over there. But until next time, this has been Horror Headlines, and we'll see you next week live again on TikTok, YouTube, X, Facebook, everywhere they let me go live. We go live. Hit him with that outro.
All right, guys, remember, stay scared.